Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, the 90-day listing challenge with MAPS coaches Christina Wynn and Lance Loken. Please note this webinar is being recorded and you will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have any questions for your coach, please type them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. Thanks. That's all for me. Coach Christina, take it away.
Thanks, Susie. Really appreciate it. This is Christina Wynn with the Loken Group, and we have
Lance Loken's here with the Loken Group. How are you, everyone? We're so excited for this opportunity, and we're really excited for the 90-day listing challenge that's going to be coming up. It's going to start July 3rd, and we'll go through how you can sign up and register and everything at that time. But we're really excited about the 90-day listing challenge because we want to help you guys grow your business into what you want to accomplish. None of this is an overnight success. It all takes time, it takes effort, and a lot of sweat and tears to accomplish it. So, Christina, why don't you give a little background about who you are and how you joined the Loken Group and what you've evolved into today, and then I'll do the same thing with myself.
Great, thank you. So I've been with the Loken Group here for about 5 years now. I am the Vice President of Outside Sales for the listing specialist. So I myself, currently have sellers and homeowners and focus on getting their houses sold, and also coach and train and hold accountable the other listing specialists and agents here on our team. And prior to the Loken Group, I was in marketing and advertising and really heard about the amazing culture and the business that the Loken Group had back in 2014, and decided to join the organization then.
So, Christina, last year you did about 700 transactions, and as a team. And then this year, your goal is, and you're on track to accomplish around how many?
So this year, our goal is 1,080.
Yeah, and you're very close on track for that. And so what we've done is we're very listing focused, because we feel like if you're marketing for listings, that you're marketing for your business and the success of your business. And so that's why we love this side of the business as much as we do on the listing side. So a little bit about myself. I'm Lance Loken with the Loken Group. Karina started this business along with myself in January of 2011. When it was just the two of us, we grew to 4 at the end of the first year, and then grew to 8 at the end of the second year. And now we have 86 people in our organization, and we're on track to do about $700 million in business this year, and about 2,700 wow home experiences. And so obviously we're very listing focused, and that's why we're so excited about jumping into this side of the business and help you guys grow as much as you possibly can. So let's go into the slides. So a little bit about the program. This is going to be a 8-week course along with a follow-up webinar. So it'll be for a total of 9 weeks. And the first week, we're going to really focus on scripts and systems. We utilize the Bold scripts, and then we've added a lot of different systems on top of that to make sure that we are providing as much value as we possibly can to all of our clients. And everything that we have done from day one has all been system-based. We want to make sure that we can be as efficient as we possibly can, and we'll share a lot of those ideas with you as well. Lead generation sources. Where does our business come from on the listing side? And then we've grown into leveraging. At the end of the day, you can only do so much by yourself. You need to have a team of people behind you to be very successful in all that you do. And that's where leverage comes into play. As we've grown into the organization that we've become today, it's all about how you can be an expert at the one thing that you can be amazing at doing. And we utilize StrengthsFinder 2.0 to come up with that kind of information. so that you're always doing what you're awesome at doing, and automatically then that translates into what you want to do. Why don't you talk about the seller pre-qual, Christina? Because that's a huge piece of our business.
Yes, so the seller pre-qualification process is really important to us because even when you guys are starting your business, you don't really want to be that agent that comes out all the way to a house and all you do is you just run comps for the sellers. We're not here to run free CMAs. We're here to add value and to show sellers how we can get their houses sold. So here at the Loken Group, we have a pretty intensive and extensive seller pre-qualification process that we're going to share with you guys, and we're going to show you how important is it to dig deep into motivation and to really understand the seller's needs so that we can help them get them to where they want to be, using powerful scripts and also asking the right questions so you can be fully prepared by the time that you show up to their doorstep and before you come in for that listing consultation. And also on top of that, we're going to show you guys how to create and execute a powerful listing consultation using embedded commands, language of sales, bold scripts, and basically adding value and helping you explain what your particular UVP, unique value proposition, is going to be for the seller. And on top of that, we're going to be showing you proven systems for lead follow-up because the key and the magic is in the follow-up. And with that, you're going to be able to not only go on new listing appointments and also keep them, because one of the largest fallout rates for agents is that they don't really follow up. And so we're going to show you tips and tricks for that as well. And also, it's so important as you're building your business, growing your business, starting your business, and launching it, is to learn how to successfully and effectively track numbers in your conversion rate. And so that's basically the gist of the program and what to expect.
You know, one of the best things that's coming out with KW Command is they're going to have listing consultations and listing packets automatically set up for you in the system, as well as pre-listing consultation information that you can forward right to your clients immediately after setting the appointment. So excited about what's in the path and in the framework for future for KW Command.
Can't wait.
So what is our goal? What do you intend to accomplish in the next 90 days? Do you know why, Christina, we talk about a 90-day cycle?
Yes, the 90-day cycle is because that's the time in which, say, for example, today, day one, you pick up the phone and you call an expired or a for sale by owner, and you're working on setting an appointment all the way into when the listing goes live and active on the market to when you actually get it under contract and sold.
Yeah. And then number two, what may be holding you back from building a big business? You know, so many of us look to accomplish things and we want to do more business, but we never really focus on what it takes to build a big business. And we're going to show you how to be accountable to that. We're going to show you how to build that, you know, utilizing leverage and utilizing other people. So we'll go through that entire process. What tools do you need in your tool belt to break through your limiting beliefs? So many of us have limiting beliefs that we can only do so much. Well, that's true. So what do you need to do to accomplish the next level and to go after those bigger numbers?
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because here, this is called the 90-day challenge. It's named challenge for a reason. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be lots of drunk monkeys hanging out and sitting on your shoulders, and there's going to be moments where it's easy to give up and to stop and to not commit. And so here, we're going to coach you guys and help you through those challenges and all of those hurdles that you're going to experience and face.
You know, in the first and second years of business, I was looking at our competition and seeing what they were accomplishing. And in this Houston market, there's a lot of big teams out there. There's 37,000 agents, but there's a lot of big teams in the area. And I was looking at them, and they were getting one closing a day and on a daily basis. And I was like, man, to have 30 closings in a single month, what would that do for our business? That would just be incredible. And then we set out a goal to achieve that. And it took us several months before we first achieved it. But once you started doing that, then you started focusing on what would it look like to have 2 closings in a day and so on. But you had to have those goals set up in your own mindset. And by having those limiting beliefs that, oh, those are big people, they can easily do that. Well, they had to start someplace as well. And maybe that's where you're at. Maybe you're doing 1 closing a month or 2 closings a month. What would it do in your business if you were doing 5 closings a month or even 10 closings a month? That's where we want to help you break through on your limiting beliefs.
And let's take that to the next level. Not only what would that do for your business, what would that do for your life, for your family, and for the financial freedom that everybody wants and is seeking. And so that ties into the next that you're talking about limiting beliefs, Lance, is what is your mindset around working with sellers? Now, selling homes is fun, and it's not always fun. Sometimes our sellers have no choice but to sell their house. Sometimes they're very frustrated. They've listed with 3 agents and they're getting no results, or they're really stressed out. They keep on having to accommodate showings and they're getting a divorce. It doesn't look very pretty. There's lots of situations where it's very stressful. And so how to prepare yourself and getting into the right mindset so that you can best service your clients, have powerful conversations, fierce conversations, and get them to where you need them to be and to get their houses sold. And the last, go ahead.
Well, one of the things that you said about mindset working around sellers, you have to be prepared to have fierce conversations on a regular basis, don't you?
Right, you do.
I mean, that is one of the key parts. And if you're not having those fierce conversations with your sellers, you're doing them a disservice because they hired you to do a job. They hired you to sell their home for the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. And so many times we have the mindset that, oh, we're just going to put a sign in the yard and hope that it gets sold. You can't do that in this kind of an environment, especially right now in a shifting market. So we're really going to focus around that too.
Perfect. And then lastly, our goal is how many listing units will you add to your business in 2019? And what will your action plan be to accomplish that goal? So let's move on to the next. Setting your sellers up for success. What we're going to go through is lead generate for listings. So to give you tips and tricks on where to find expired listings, what to say to them, FSBOs for sell-by owners, door knocking scripts, sphere of influence, client referrals, and agent referrals. The next thing we're going to go over is lead capture and follow-up. Finding ready, willing, and able sellers, not the ones that are not looking to sell their house in 3 years from now, 2 years from now, the ones that are ready now, and what to say to them, and also how can you set that listing consultation appointment. And also we're going to go through all the other leads that should be entered into your CRM, which is your customer relationship management program, and added to your touch campaign. Lastly, we're going to dive deep into the details of seller pre-qualification. This is the most important thing when you're setting an appointment, because you don't want to just show up just to be there and to show a free home value analysis for a non-motivated seller. So the intention is to set a listing consultation, be the local economist of your choice, know your market, and most importantly, master, learn, internalize, and how to handle those objections.
That's a huge piece. Is how many times can you handle objections during the entire process? And by the way, how many times are you closing on a listing consultation, Christina?
I'm closing anywhere minimum of 2 to 3 times, and maximum, I think I've had 26 closed statements.
Yep. You have to be willing and able to close as many times as possible. And a key caveat to that is you always have to be with the mindset that you're not leaving that appointment until you've got the listing. And so many of us tend to just give up after the 3rd or 4th objection, don't we?
Yep, that's very true. Always ask for the close and don't be afraid to close. And moving on, we're also going to show you guys the listing consultation, preparing your pre-listing packet. I mean, Lance, if you want to talk about when you first started, what your listing packet looked like, and now today.
I don't think we want to talk about that. I don't have a creative bone in my body. So we utilized the Market Center's pre-listing packet initially, and then we got somebody to help us design our own. And the way that it looked like in the beginning compared to the way that it looks like now is night and day. But you know what? The key part about that is we created something and implemented it immediately. We didn't just talk about doing a pre-listing packet. We said, we've got to do this. And whether it was pretty or not, we had one. And then as we've evolved the organization, it's become much more value added and educational for our people.
And then really, to be honest, Lance, when I go on listing consultations, I don't even pull out the pre-listing packet. I don't even talk to the sellers about that. It's mainly nonverbal communication, reading them, mirror and matching them, their tonality, their pitch, their speed, and really listening on what they're truly saying.
You know, one of the funny things that I always talk about when I'm at a listing consultation is I'll give them the listing packet and I'll say, hey, when you go on to go to sleep at night, here's some, educational reading for you. And they tend to laugh, and it breaks the ice barrier as well during that time. And, it is value to those high C personalities.
Absolutely. I'm a high C. Yeah.
Right. And the high Ds are going to glance through it and throw it away, but you're providing something of value to them.
Absolutely. And then we're also going to help you customize your listing presentation with specific market data, because the numbers don't lie. We do focus heavily on a lot of data and statistics when we are at our listing consultation. We're also going to discuss listing process and the marketing plan, especially when doesn't matter who you're speaking with, a high D, I, S, or C, everyone's going to want to know, what are you going to do to market my listing? How are you going to get it sold? And what does that look like? And setting the expectations about things you can and things you cannot control. We're going to get and dive deep into that. Next, we're also going to show you contract to close, leveraging your allied resources, leveraging your transaction coordinator and your closing coordinator. We're going to show you, because I'm pretty sure as you're building your business and you're growing your business, that you are going to run out of time with handling all the admin items. So Lance and I are going to coach you and show you how to leverage that so you can truly focus on your 20% and really invest in your business.
The best transaction coordinators that we have in our organization are the ones that are asking what they can do for you to take off of your plate versus, oh, you have another transaction or you have another contract coming to me. It's all about the mindset of the transaction coordinator and how they can add value to you.
Exactly. And then also we're going to help set the next step expectations with sellers throughout the process. Now, there's two things that are going to be very helpful when you're working with sellers. First is communication. Second is setting the right expectations. And so that even, Lance, the past couple of years, we've had challenges with setting the right expectations with our sellers. And with a lot of asking for feedback and sending lots of surveys, we then realized that we weren't setting the right expectations. And now we're in a much better place in our business and things are moving much smoother.
Yeah, we've utilized the survey process quite extensively, and we'll go over that, during this 8-week course along with the follow-up webinar after that for a total of 9 weeks. We want to make sure that we are adding as much value as we possibly can to your business, because we want you to be doubling your business by the end of the year, because this is the halfway point of the year that you're going to be focused on the listing side of the business. And we really want you to jumpstart your efforts so that 2020 is going to be a fantastic and meaningful year for you.
And then we're going to go over the closing and post-closing process. Attending closing, basically just attend your closing. However, when you're there, asking for a testimonial and asking for a referral. That's one of the things that we've been heavily focused on here at the Loken Group, is asking for a referral. And we even don't even call our past clients. We call them forever clients because we intend to keep them forever and to service them for the entirety of our relationship. And lastly, going to put clients on a post-closing touch campaign and in your CRM and help you guys build the tools and resources so you can stay in touch with them through a standpoint of leveraging that.
You know, my favorite part about this entire process that we're going to be going through is tracking your numbers. Tracking your numbers is so key. It's what is important about tracking your numbers consistently. What we do is we have leading tracking measures and lagging tracking measures. The leading tracking measures starts out with the appointment set, appointment kept, to agreement signed, and then you get into the lagging measures of getting them under contract and closings and finding out where your stop gaps are. What I love about numbers, and I'm a CFO by nature, chief financial officer, so I'm always looking at numbers, but I really honestly feel like they tell you a story. When your business is doing really well, you can still see gaps in your business of where you're failing at. When 2 years ago, we were having a major issue with closings or conversions. We were converting from appointment kept to agreement signed at a 45% rate. We had our top listing agent out in the field. She went on 500 appointments in a year, and she closed 199 homes. Most people would look at that and go, oh my gosh, she closed 199 homes by herself. And of course, she has a team to support her, but she had 199 closings. People would look at that and go, how amazing it is. What if she would have closed at a 70% rate instead of 45%? Then she would have closed 350 homes in that single year, doing the exact same amount of appointments. And so by looking at the gaps in your business, you can see where you can really fail forward. The next part is what metrics should a listing agent track? And that's what we just were going over. Number of leads, number of appointments set, appointments kept, go to agreement signed, pendings, closings, and what the GCI is. We track every single one of these metrics because each metric can tell you the story of where you need to work at to become a better person or a better closer.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because there were times where I would have an outstanding month of closing 26 closings in 1 month, and I was happy, very proud of myself, patting my back, and then the following month just was barely at 3 closings, and I didn't know what happened. And it was because I was so busy focusing on the closings, I forgot to go on appointments. I forgot to continue to convert those leads and to get the listings activated, especially when my pipeline went down. So had I had monitored these numbers closely and carefully, I would have known well, Christina, you need to go on more appointments, or you're going to have a rough next couple of 2 to 3 months. And so I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yep. So then we're also going to show the Keller Metrics CGI rules, the tools. That gives you a really good in-depth analysis of where you're at in your business. And one of the key parts is how profitable are you? Because we're in business to be profitable. We're not in business to just turn a bunch of papers over and make ourselves look good. You're in a business to be profitable. So we're going to go over that. Also going to go over the pipeline report and as well as the 4 conversations. Christina, you go over the 4 conversations with your listing agents on a weekly basis. Why don't you talk about what that looks like from an accountability standpoint?
So from an accountability standpoint, a lot of times all of our listing agents are high drivers, high Ds. They set pretty good goals for themselves. It's very rare that we ever have to have a conversation saying, hey, you're slacking on your numbers. However, things do happen, and especially when you have a busy business and things are start to get very challenging, it's easy to lose sight of that. So on a weekly basis, how that looks like an accountability is, well, you intended to go on 10 listing appointments last week. How many did you truly go on? And of that, how many did sign with you and listed? And by looking at that, the listing agents are able to predict what their future business is going to look like, where their gaps are, and where they need to fill in so that they can make up that difference.
So we're on to the next part where you can sign up today to take this course for the 90-day listing challenge. It all starts on Wednesday, July 3rd at 2 p.m. Central Time. All you have to do is visit mapscoaching.com/group and then go over to the 90-day listing challenge. Hover on that and it'll show the click to sign up. And then you just sign up, and we would love to have as many people as we possibly can to provide value and to pour into you guys. We'd like to be very interactive, so we're going to ask for a lot of feedback and questions and see where we can help you double your business by the end of this year from July through the end of the year, December. We would love to have you join us. Again, that's Wednesday, July 3rd, 2019 for our first session. And if you have any questions, just get in touch with MAPS Coaching, and we hope that all of you will register. Have a great day, everyone.